Today, the Senate precisely has threatened to issue a warrant of arrest on the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami. The threat is coming weeks after the Senate had summoned the minister to appear before its Committee on Judiciary to explain the rationale behind his action on charging its principal officers to court over forgery. My guests have been talking to me about this matter. But again, one would be wondering, well, it's in the office, is the law officer of the land. Is there anything wrong for him to carry out his responsibility, not minding who commits the offense?
There are two sets of responsibilities. The law officer has a statutory right to discharge its responsibilities, and the Senate also have their right to summon anybody to appear before it. Any minister, it is the right of the Senate. So within those two aspects, each of them is exercising their right. But for me, it's a party issue. What's going on is what should be resolved within the ambit of the party, so that the nation is spared this. There's a lot of work on the table. The APC came in, they've made a lot of problems, so they say, and so we can see as well. So I don't know why they would not, for whatever it takes, give and take and resolve these issues, because at the end of the day, forget it, APC government is in power. So they will be held accountable for everything that happens. They're like people running against time. And the last thing they want to do is to be distracted by things that could be resolved within the party system. That's why I go back to still say that every political party should go back to their manifestos and be able to look at, constitutions, and be able to have inbuilt mechanisms to resolve internal, issues. You would realize that, you would agree with me that not long ago, a member of my party came in here and he said, oh, there was a little problem. And not long after that, the same person put a condolence message, on the scroll bar, when I lost a family member. That shows that we had a problem, and within a short period of time, we were able to resolve our internal issues. And by the way, please, my condolences to Bishop Amakri as well. He lost a family member. It's like we were taking turns. So parties should be able to learn and have even, the leadership or the crisis within the party would have two levels. One is the big figures that can be, contacted. Second are non-office holding little people, in parentheses, who have the capacity to reach out and be the bridge between the parties. My appeal is for the parties in question to find a way of resolving their internal problems. If not so, they are fast losing the patience of the public.
All right.
That's why there's so much
let's quickly come back to Lagos.
The YDP to please step up the plate. And one or two things we've done.
Let's quickly come back to Lagos, Mr. Eto. As it stands now, I mean, the question I put to him, the National Assembly has its responsibility and obligations. Of course, the Attorney General of the Federation too also has, as a law officer, if there's a petition that comes on his table and an investigation about an activity of criminal nature or civil nature, is it not just right for him to do his work?
If we had understanding, and I'm a bit surprised. I'm a lawyer. I'm a bit surprised. I must say that I'm a bit disappointed at the action of the Attorney General. You understand what I'm saying? I'm disappointed.
For him to take up that alleged forgery case.
Yes. You see, it's not like the Nigerian police, for instance. When you go there, they say, okay, I was sitting down, somebody made a complaint, I have to investigate. No, you are a lawyer. There are things that are possible in law. There are things that are simply absurd in law.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So now, if I may, this very tough belongs to the National Assembly. If there are infractions of the rules of the National Assembly, if somebody should misrepresent what happens in the National Assembly, the Legislative Houses Privileges Act gives that house, led by the Senate President or the Speaker, the right to investigate. They can invite him.
Right.
He's the one who has gone to fish in their own
Because
port.
I want to get your perspective on this matter. Just before we go, let me quickly show you. Today is the deadline for the submission of names in the Edo governorship election. But as it stands now, controversies over who is the candidate of the PDP in Edo State. I will show you quickly these two men who have emerged in a parallel primary. There you go. In the Edo governorship race, two men who have emerged from the Senator Sheriff camp and from the Senator Makarifi-led caretaker committee camp just in 30 minutes. What do you make? Is INEC not in the limelight? Just in 30 seconds.
Yes. Really, so many court orders, injunctions, and what have you. I think that so far, with all due respect, my feeling is that the McAfee faction, I'm more satisfied with the way the McAfee faction has come up and the legal basis, the judicial pronouncements, that support the McAfee group. Now I'm not too happy that a certain judge, after a judicial pronouncement has been made by another judge recognizing the McAfee group, you now came back to say my order still stands. When he did, there was an injunction. When they did that, I don't think that that is right.
We have to go. Thank
respect.
you so much, Mr. Chukwuwachu. Unfortunately, I would love taking your comment, Mr. Talk, but INEC says that they're still expecting the legal advice from the legal team. But of course, I would like to bring you back on this Edo matter, Mr. Nyeto. Many thanks for coming, Mr. Chukwuwachu, for talking
Thank
to
you
us.
very much.
I'm Mr. Nyeto, the National Chairman of the Young Democratic Party. Well, thank you so much also for staying with us, and I hope that you've enjoyed the beats that we've been able to serve you this evening. On behalf of the team, I'm Sean Kimalo. Bye for now.